breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alert.
Barack Hussein Obama has been a president that much of the American people have been desperate to forget since he was finally forcibly removed from office almost a year ago exactly. He ran the White House into the ground, which his successor, President Trump, has worked diligently at bringing back for the past 11 months. He not only erected our country from despair in record time, he brought the U.S. to a level of success the American people have not seen in 8 years. Relinquishing control is not something that's on Obama's radar, as he spent his retirement trying to take over as president. This is due in part to the former narcissist-in-chief wanting everyone to remember what he thinks he did great while forgetting his complete destruction of the United States. President Trump has seen firsthand the detriment his predecessor was to this country, uncovering his scandalous cover-ups and facades of greatness that were nothing but self-serving. He's not only changed course, he's erased one of Obama's biggest legacies once and for all. That was also his sickest front yet. While ultra-liberal anchor Anderson Cooper accused Trump's destruction of all things Obama surprisingly personal, what the president is really doing to his legacy is important, not a personal attack. Sure, it's nice to discredit the real hope and change that Trump is making happen, as a personal vendetta, when the reality is everyone will benefit from the destruction of it. The fact of the matter is, Trump is simply making America better, as he promised he would do, and his detractors are taking it the wrong way. Political reports. In the case of the Obama legacy, Democrats lost over 1,000 state and federal Democrat seats, including congressional and state legislative seats, governorships and the presidency, under his tenure. It's not hard to see why, since Obama's legacy entailed the rise of ISIS, subpar economic growth following the weakest recovery since World War II, exploding healthcare costs, and a record national debt. We've already seen what taking the opposite approach of Obama has done, destroying ISIS, bringing economic growth back above 3%, unemployment numbers improving, and a surging stock market. Trump really is erasing every creation of Obama that he can. Among them includes a government site called We the People that was reportedly set up back in 2011. The idea behind the site was that if a petition started there reached 100,000 signatures with 30 days, it would receive an official response from the White House. The supposed site cost a few $1 million per year to run, but it's unclear where that money went, because it certainly didn't go towards paying people to monitor the site as well as that. Well, in August of 2013, there were 30 petitions which met the signature threshold, and it took the government an average of 240 days to respond to them. Of 323 petitions that met their thresholds, they sped up their response time to 117 days. One of the biggest drains on the budget and people's time was the whining post that Obama provided but did nothing with. That's now gone, and he swipe of a pen, and it's good riddance to this waste of resources until a better system is released. According to The Hill, the We the People website was taken down on Tuesday at midnight. Officials told the Associated Press that platform will be replaced with a new website in late January and that all of the existing petitions will be restored at that time. The Trump administration has yet to respond to any petitions that have exceeded 100,000 signatures, which necessitate a response from the federal government. Trump officials told the AP that the administration will begin responding to the petitions once the new website is live sometime next year. Several of the petitions that have reached the threshold are highly critical of President Trump, including calls for him to release his tax returns, for him to divide or put all of his assets in a blind trust, and for him to resign. The White House says the move will save taxpayers $1.3 million a year. Political explains more about this necessary move. That's out of a $55 million White House budget and allots $4.94 million for information technology to be put to much better use. The new landing page for the website tells us that all existing petitions and associated signatures have been preserved and will be available when the site is relaunched. Following the site's relaunch, petitions that have reached the required number of signatures will begin receiving responses. While the administration says a new website is planned to be released in 2018, That's likely just a cover story to get away with it entirely, presuming everyone just forgets about it in a few months anyway. Given how this news cycle is progressing, that's practically a guarantee. After all, the administration has made no effort to reply to the petitions on the platform so far this year, which has been utilized by users as a way to protest the Trump presidency, and it's unlikely they'd suddenly develop any interest in doing so with their own website. What's the point when too many of the petitions are illogical nonsense anyway? In terms of the federal budget, this program is a fraction of a penny on the dollar, but that's no excuse to keep it. We don't even know how many government agencies exist, as there is no authoritative list of government agencies. All we know is that there are at least 430 in existence. It's been conventional political wisdom that spending is never cut because it guarantees those whose department you cut will vote against you. The Trump administration doesn't seem to care much, and given a national debt over $20 trillion, that's the kind of attitude we need right now. A few million pennies saved is a few million pennies earned. Or, in regards to our national debt, it's a few million paid back or invested into something more sensible, logical, or useful. The American people elected the right man to make these positive financial changes and time savers by voting a successful businessman into office to replace the failed community organizer. What do you think about this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Don't you forget like, share and subscribe.